Stiction. Oh, there it goes. Let's do that again. Like I said, grease doesn't last forever. Next part of the work in the overhaul, remove the front forks.
Here's a preview.
Always loosen the upper triple clamp first, and then make sure your fork caps are unscrewed, and go at least a minimum of 1 turn. I prefer to go 2 or 3 to at least take the friction off the rubber O-ring. And I'll do this to both legs while they're still in the bike. And if you're curious, there's only 1 bolt on the lower triple clamp currently holding both forks in place. There we go. So the oil we've got in the forks is technically a season old. I do it every year. So it still looks pretty clear, but already it's going black. There's the black. And all of that sits at the bottom of the fork. All right, that gets the bulk out. Now let's get the fork apart. Stiction. Oh, there it goes. Let's do that again. Like I said, grease doesn't last forever. Come on. Clearly the seals need to be cleaned and re-greased. That's why stiction is such a pain, because you've got to stay on top of it. So dump and runs, for me the ratio is 3 to 1. Every third one comes up, everything comes apart, and I mean everything. Cartridge is out, rebound rod is out, polished, pistons out, valving shims are out, cleaned, laid out, checked, make sure they're flat, there's no damage, they're not bent. It's a complete and utter go through. Oil is cheap. My safety and trust in the front end of the motorcycle to me is far more important than the rear of the bike. So I'm quite happy to take this apart very, very frequently to make sure time-wise that it's done. Out of curiosity, what do you think Yamaha recommends for the fork oil service intervals for an 08 and up R6? Go have a look at that. Now we've got the sliding tube free. What we want to do is inspect this tube for nicks, dings, scratches, long straight lines, any kind of damage like that. So we can see there's a very polished area right here, extremely polished. Hopefully that's coming through on camera. And then there's a dark area here and a different colored area here. The other piece that is interesting, which the camera may or may not pick up at this point, there's some straight lines coming down through here. And those straight lines is the fork wobbling against the bushing, trying to keep the fork still. So there are 2 bushings. One is inside, up here, and one is down here. So what does that mean for us? Because there's that Teflon gray bushing right there. All that is doing in 2 parts of the outer tube is trying to keep this from rocking inside of it. That's the function of the bushings. Is this wobbling on this chrome tube? And if so, the bad news is you buy one of these. So at this point now, we need to check and see if we've got too much free play between the bushing and the tube. So nice and tight down here, and you can see it and hear it. So might be time to get a set of these ordered, money set aside, get these replaced, because you don't want to have to buy the entire fork, the lower leg, and everything else, because this was wearing out and you cheaped out. think I lifted the bike in the air. Come on. There you go. $70 foot-pounds. Yep, gone. It's free. All because of a GoPro mount.
Damn. Couldn't use a socket for the precious GoPro mount. Catch the full video at DaveMossTuning.com.